Okay, fine. So we are looking at the some of the numericals in the last class. We'll try to continue the same. Today we'll try to solve one numerical on maybe reheat and one numerical on the regeneration. I think that should be sufficient for you to give enough information. Okay. Now let's look at the numerical on the reheat cycle. It's something like this. An ideal reheat cycle utilizes steam, okay, steam as the working fluid. Steam at 100 bar and 400 degrees Celsius is expanded in the high pressure turbine to 15 bar. After this, it is reheated to 350 degrees Celsius at 15 bar and is then expanded in the LP turbine, that is low pressure turbine, to the condenser pressure of 0.5 bar. Determine the thermal efficiency and steam rate. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to solve the problem for this given condition. Let us try to put the TS diagram first. Okay. So the TS diagram looks something like this. So I have the temperature on the y-axis and your entropy on the x-axis. This is my temperature, and I have to put a dome. Okay. This is the dome what I have. And then I am going to, so this is my, okay, 1s or something. This is my starting point. I am going to heat in the boiler to at the pressure, that is at 100 bar, and I am going to heat it. So the steam is superheated, usually at 400 degrees Celsius per 100 bar. So the condition is the 400, what is this? That will check it anyhow. I'll write it actually. So it goes to this particular thing. So what we have there is actually, so I have a constant temperature line, which is T is equal to 400 degrees Celsius. So I'll be getting the 0.2. Okay, that's the 0.2. Then from that particular point, the steam is, so I'm going to expand to some other pressure, which is 15 bar. So I have a pressure in between. So this is a pressure of 15 bar. Okay. This is a pressure of 15 bar. That is the intermediate pressure I'm trying to give it here. So it is expanded in the high pressure turbine to 15 bar. Then, so this is my pressure curve at 15 bar, and I'm going to heat it to some 350 degrees Celsius. So I have one more temperature. This is T is equal to 350 degrees Celsius. And then I am going to expand in the low pressure turbine. I don't know the condition. Then I am going to release the heat in the condenser. So this is what your TS diagram looks like. This is your TS diagram looks like. Okay, let's try to write the points actually. So 1 to 2 in the boiler. Then I am going to expand it to 3s isentropic. Then it will go to, so wherever isentropic is there, I am going to put, so instead of 3, I will put 3s actually. Then expansion in the, this is the expansion in the high pressure turbine. This is the expansion in the low pressure turbine. I am going to expand it to the 0.5s. Then I will come to the 0.6. So this is how the turbine will work. So this is a reheat cycle. So this is at 100 bar, this is at 15 bar, and the condenser is at 0.5 bar. And temperatures, everything we have marked. So once you were able to put, either you can put TS diagram or HS diagram, doesn't matter. So both will give the answer. Okay, now TS diagram we have put, and rest try to write the data. So what is the pressure actually? Let me write correspond to the point. T2 is equal to 100 bar, that is a high pressure turbine, this thing. And the corresponding temperature is 400 degrees Celsius. Then intermediate pressure actually, okay. Let me call that as Pi, which is 15 bar. And the intermediate temperature is actually 350 degrees Celsius. Then I have the exit or P5 or condenser pressure, which is 0.5 bar. So what we are supposed to find? To find the thermal efficiency and the steam rate. Okay. steam rate. Now, what you do, go to your steam tables. At the pressure corresponding to 100 bar, find the saturation temperature. Okay, from the steam tables, at 100 bar. So can anyone tell me the saturation temperature? What is the saturation temperature?
So 310.96.
Okay, 310.96, which is less than the given temperature of 400 degrees Celsius. So the steam is superheated. That's it. Simple condition. Just check for the saturation temperature. If it is less than the given temperature, it is superheated. If it is greater than the given temperature, it should be wet steam. Now the condition of the steam at the point 2 is superheated. Now go to superheated tables. Okay. From the superheated steam tables, what is it actually? I have to check for enthalpies. At superheated tables, at 100 bar and 400 degrees Celsius, that is the superheated temperature. Let's find the enthalpy, that is H2. It should be around 3100 or something, 3099.9 kilojoules per kg. Then your entropy is actually 6.218 kilojoules per kg. Okay, this is what I got. So the process between 2 to 3, okay. So for the process, okay, 2 to 3 is what actually, the process 2 to 3 is isentropic. So process 2 to 3 is isentropic. So then what will happen? So for that condition, your entropy at 2 is equal to entropy at 3. Okay, now what is the pressure at the intermediate pressure? It is 15 bar. Now go to steam tables. Okay, go to steam tables. I don't know the see. When you put it as a dry, I don't know what is that particular thing. I don't know. Just I put it. Maybe it may be inside your dome also. It may be outside your dome also. It may be superheated or it may be just dry also. Let's try to go to your pressure. Okay, go to your pressure. So from the steam tables, at the pressure of 15 bar. Okay, from the steam tables at the pressure of 15 bar, try to get these values. What are the values? So that's at 0.3 actually. So I know what are the values. One of you just tell these values. HF3, okay, HG3, okay, then SF3, SG3, okay, if possible, VF3 and VG3.
So HF is 844.6.
844.6 kilojoules per kg. HG3
1945.3.
1945.3. SF3
So sorry, HG is 1945. Sorry, 2789.9.
2789.9. Okay. Then SF3
2.3144.
2.3144 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. What is SG3?
6.4406.
6.4406 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. What is VF3?
So 0.001154.
0.01154.
1154.
1154. Okay. 1154 meter cube per kg. Then what is Vg3?
0.13167.
0.3167 meter cube per kg. So you have to make a practice of, you have to practice and try to get these values. That's why I'm asking you people. I know all the values actually. I'm asking you people to do it. In your steam, this thing, whatever the value, you may be getting it actually. So this particular thing, so the more you practice getting the values from your steam tables, so better you will be able to do that, because most of the problems are the same way. Okay. Now what's happening? I'm now at a 0.3 actually, and I will follow this particular condition. I will go to the 0.4. Okay, at 15 bar, I will go to 350 degrees Celsius. Now, what you have to go? You have to go to the steam tables. So you let me find the x value. Okay, let me find the x value. Then we'll go to that. So here, what we are going to equate? I am going to equate S2 is equal to S3. That is, your S2 value is 6 point. Your S3 is SF3 plus X3 into Sg minus SF3. Okay, Sg3 minus SF3. Okay, now let's try to equate it. This is 6.218 is equal to, so SF3 is actually, it is 2.3144 plus X3 into 6.4406 minus 2.3144. So from this you find X3, it may be 0.98 or 0.97. Can you just tell me the value? 96 or 97, something like that. It will be very close to 1. It will be more than 0.94.
Yes. So 0.946.
0.946. So that means 0.97. 947 means 95. Okay. 0.946, 0.95. It will be more than 0.95, 0.9 actually. Now, once you found this, I can find the enthalpy. So therefore, enthalpy H3. Okay. Therefore, the enthalpy H3 is equal to HF3 plus X3 into Hg3 minus SF3. Okay. What is HF3? HF3 is equal to, just now we have found it is 844.6 plus X3 is 0.946 or 0.95. Okay. Then 2789.9 minus 844.6. Just get the value. 2789.9 minus 844.6 into 0.95 plus 844.6. 2692.64 or 63. 2692. Okay. 2692.635. I can write it as 64 kilojoules per. So this is the enthalpy at 0.3. I got it. So now the condition of the steam is, it is not completely dry, but nearer to dry condition. Now what I will do, I will go to the steam test. So now I will follow the path 3s to 4. That means I need the value at 0.4. So what I need to go to superheated steam tables. So from the superheated steam tables, I at 15 bar and 350 degrees Celsius. Okay, 15 bar and 350 degrees Celsius. I have to get the enthalpy of at 0.4, that is H4 and S4. Okay, so H4 is equal to, so if you look at it, I am getting around H4 is equal to 3148 kilojoules per kg, and S4 is equal to 7.103 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Okay. Now one more thing. Your process 4 to 5, it is once again isentropic. So S4 is equal to S5S. So I don't know the value of X at the 5. Okay, I don't know the value of X at the 5. I don't know the value of x at the 5. So I need to find the value of x at 5. So to do that, what I'm going to do actually, so this particular thing I got it. Now, as the process 4 to 5 is isentropic, S4 is equal to S5, that is entropy at 4 is equal to entropy at 5. Okay, what is entropy at 5? S5 is equal to SF5 plus X5 into SG5 minus SF5. But I don't know the value of SF5, SG5 and all. So what I want to do, but what is the corresponding pressure at 5 actually? It is 0.5 bar. I'll go to the steam tables. Okay, once again, so from the steam tables, at 0.5 bar, that is at the condenser pressure. Let me write that. This is at the condenser pressure. So what you have to do? You have to get all these values at 0.5 bar. Get all the values. That is HF5, HG5, SF5, SG5. Okay. Then VF5 and VG5. Even though few maybe some of the terms what we are taking from steam may be not useful for your calculations, but let's make an habit actually. So tell me the values of HF5. How much?
340.6.
340.6. 340.6 kilojoules per kg. What is HG5?
2646.
2646 kilojoules per kg. What is SF5?
1.091.
1.091 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. What is SG5?
7.595.
7.595 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. What is VF5?
0.001030.
1030 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. What is VG5?
3.2401.
2401 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. So now all the values we are able to get it from the steam tables. Now what we will do, we will try to equate S4 is equal to S5. Okay, what is the value of S4? It is 7.103, which is equal to SF5 is 1.091. Okay, 1.091 plus X5 into 7.595 minus 1.091 and find the value of X5. Okay, how much is it?
.924.
0.924. Okay. 0.924. Okay. Now dryness fraction at 0.5 is 0.924. I got it actually. Now what I can need to find? I need to find the enthalpy. So therefore H5 is equal to HF5 plus X5 into HG5 minus HF5.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
The units for VF5 and VG no 5, sir.
VF5
Units, sir, units.
meter cube per kg. Oh, fine. Meter cube per kg. Oh. Fine. That's the specific volume, no? No problem. You know it, fine. Leave it, no problem. This meter cube per kg. This is meter cube per kg. Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's try to substitute all the values and try to get the value of HF5. So HF5 is 340.6 plus X5 is 0.924 and HG5 is 2646 minus 340.6. So therefore your H5 is equal to, tell me the value.
2470.789.
2470.789.
7896.
7.8. Okay, that's fine. 7.9 you will put. 7.9 kilojoules per kg. If you want, you can find VF also, all those things if there is a requirement. Now we got all the enthalpies, H1, H2, H3. H1 anyway, H1 is actually, if you want to find H1 is actually, you have to go and use it. It's not an issue. Okay, here, let's try to whether the H1 is required or not. We'll find. Either H2 we found, H3 we found, H4 we found, H5 we find. Okay, now H1 is how we can find. To find H1, so consider the process 1 to S. Okay, here I do have the liquid. What I will do actually, I'll use the H1 minus H6 is equal to VDP. That is P2 minus V5. P2 minus P5 I am going to use, and I will to find. So to find, okay, as the process 6 to 1 is once again isentropic. So isentropic means actually your ds is equal to 0. That is, a change in entropy is equal to 0. So therefore, what I will do, H1, okay, H1s minus H6 is equal to your, what is the specific volume at that particular point? It is VF, okay, VF5 or VF6, sorry. VF5 or VF6 both are same. That is VF6 actually. VF6 into your pressure at the P2, that is 1, and this is at the P5, that is your condenser pressure, which will be this thing. Now, what is your VF6? VF6 is equal to 0.00. See, this particular thing, I should go to this particular pressure 0.5 bar and V6. So that is VF6, that is 0.001154. Sorry, 0.001030. So that is the value of your VF. So what is the pressure at this thing? So this pressure, I have to take this pressure. So that pressure is actually, it is 100 bar. And what is the pressure at this particular point? It is 0.5 bar. So what is H1? H1 I am supposed to find. What is H5? H5 is equal to, so you see, sorry, what is H6? What is H6? So what is H6? H6 is equal to this value. What is that? Yeah, this value. H6 is equal to enthalpy at 0.5 bar, that is for the fluid. Okay, let me write that. So H1s minus H6 is equal to, see, H6 is equal to HF at is equal to HF, okay, is equal to enthalpy of fluid at 0.5 bar. This is the note I am putting, so it will be easy for you. So what is the value of it actually? It is 340.6. So let me substitute that. 340.6 is equal to, what is your VF6? It is 0.001030. 0.001030. And this is 100 bar. So let me put it. 100 into 10 to the power of 5 minus 0.5 into 10 to the power of 5. So in that case, what I need to do here, H1s, okay, here I have to put H1s minus 340.6 into 10 to the power of 3. So therefore, H1s, okay, whatever the value you are going to get, that you divided by 1000, you will get it in kilojoules per kg. So tell me the value of H1s, how much it is? It should be slightly greater than your 340.6.
350.85.
Oh, 350.85. So this is the value of your H1s. Now I got all the things. All the enthalpies, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5. And H6 also we got it, and your everything we got it. Now what we need to do? We need to find the net work done. Okay. So therefore, net work done. So which is W net is equal to your turbine work, okay, in the HP stage plus, okay, turbine work in the LP stage, that is low pressure turbine, minus your pump work. So all these things, if you're able to do it, then only I'll be able to get the net work done. So therefore, W net is equal to, what is your, if you go to this turbine, let's go to the TS diagram. H2 minus H3S is your HP turbine work, plus H4 minus H5S is the your work done in the low pressure turbine, minus of H1S minus H6. So all the values we'll try to substitute here. So W net is equal to H2 minus H3S plus H4 minus H5S minus H1S minus H6. Okay, that's right. What is your H2? H2 just now we found. H2 is 3099.9. 3099.9 minus. What is H3S? It is H3 or H3S, whatever it may be, 2692.64. 2692.64 plus what is your H4? H4 is found to be 3148, 3148. So H2, just check for the H2, is it number is right? Let's check for the H2 value at 100 bar at 400 degrees Celsius. I think did I made a mistake? 100 bar. -400 degrees Celsius. 3242, sorry. It is actually 3242. 10 megapascals, 311 degrees Celsius. It is 3242.3. 3242.3, 6.4217. Okay, that's fine. 3242, that is. I think I made a mistake. 3242.3. This is fine. Entropy is fine. 3242.43. Okay. Now when I go here only, I could make out this. This is because your H1, H2 should be greater than your H4. So 3242.43. Okay. So 3148. So 3148 kilojoules minus your H5 2470 minus 2470.79 minus your H1S, just now we found it is 350.85 minus your H6 is, it's actually 340.6. So can you tell me what is the net work done? It's a simple addition and subtraction. That's it. Subtraction of the first two addition of the first two quantities, then subtraction of the third quantity. It is 3242.43 minus 2692.64 plus 318 minus 2470.79 minus 350.85 minus 340.6. So are you getting 1217? 1217.05.
Yes, sir.
1217.05 kilojoules per kg. This is the net work done. Now, what is the heat supplied? If you go back here, let's go and look at the TS diagram. See, heat is supplied between 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. So, what is the thing? H2 minus H1S plus H4 minus H3S. Okay, if you're able to substitute these values, I'll be getting my heat supplied. So heat supplied, therefore heat supplied, I am supplying in two stages, QH. Okay, so QH is equal to H2 minus H1S plus, okay, H4 minus H3S. So what is your H2? H2 is equal to 3242.43 kilojoules per kg minus H1S, actually it is 350.85 plus your H4 is 3148 minus your H3S is actually 2692.64. So this is my heat supplied. Just tell me the value. 3242.43 minus 350.85, that is in the boiler. Then in the reheater or superheater, what we call actually. Okay, if you do this, I am getting around 3000 some change, 3346.94. Heat supplied is equal to 3346. 3346.94. 94 kilojoules per kg. Now, what is the thermal efficiency? So, therefore, thermal efficiency is equal to net work done by heat supplied. What is the net work done? It is 1217.05 divided by 3346.94 divided by 3346.94. How much is it? 36.36 percentage. 36, roughly around 36.5%. 36.36 percentage. This is your thermal efficiency. The second thing, we have to find the steam rate. So what is your steam rate? Steam rate is equal to, so work done. See, what is the amount of this particular thing? If you go back and see what is the amount of steam supplied, say I'm supplying something around per hour, how much I'm supplying? Roughly so many kgs per kilowatt hour. So if I take something like I'm supplying, I have the mass flow rate is around 1 kg per second. Okay, so let's assume. So if I assume, let mass flow rate is equal to 1 kg per second, this will be equal to 3600 kg per hour. Okay, 3600 kg per hour. Then therefore, steam rate is equal to mass flow rate in hour divided by net work done. So mass flow rate is, this will be in kilo, see this will be in kg per hour divided by net work done. Net work done is actually 1217. So 3600, just I'm making an assumption, if there is given in the problem, I could have used it. So usually, so this will be around 2.957. So I will take it as 2.96. 2.96 kg per kilowatt hour. So this is the steam rate for this particular problem. So all the quantities we are able to find it. Is that fine? Okay. Now let's try to take one problem on the regeneration. Let's try to solve one problem on the regeneration. So it will be easy. Any doubts with respect to the previous problem? So the important thing is actually you should be able to check for each and everything in your steam tables. Whether it is an enthalpy, entropy, or your maybe the specific volumes. So the condition of the steam matters, whether it is a superheated condition or it's a wet condition. So value just the numbers may change from steam table to steam tables in decimals. So if I do it, maybe if I getting around 300, you may get around 299 or 301, something like that. It's going to change, but it will be considered. So even though if you are using, so that's why when using steam tables, right at the top of it, which steam table did you use? Is that clear? Shall we go to the next problem?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, we'll go to the next problem. We'll try to solve this problem. So I have a regenerative cycle problem. It's something like this. In a single heater regenerative cycle, the steam enters the turbine at 30 bar and 400 degrees Celsius. And the exhaust pressure is 0.1 bar. The feed water is a direct contact type. It operates at 5 bar. Just something they are given some data. Okay, that is feed water this thing. So that is actually how you are bleeding that. Okay, how you are bleeding that actually. Find the efficiency and the steam rate of the cycle. The second one, the increase in the mean temperature of heat addition, efficiency and steam rate as compared to the Rankine cycle without it. So if I have a simple Rankine cycle, what would it be the, and if I consider the maybe regeneration, what are the improvement I am trying to see, and you have to come up with a difference of it. So if you are solving this problem, actually we are actually solving two problems. That's why I took this problem. So if you try to look at it, so let's try to write the data what is given. So let's write the schematic. I think let's write the schematic so it will be easy for you to understand. It's a simple schematic. It's okay. It's a simple schematic. Yeah, let's have a boiler here. Okay, I have a boiler, and so 1 kg of steam. Let's take 1 kg of steam, which is going into the turbine. 1 kg of steam which is going to the turbine. So I have a turbine here. So this is my turbine, and I'm extracting the work. I'm extracting the work. So I'm bleeding at this particular point. So I'm bleeding at this particular point, that is at some 5 bar. So this is at 30 bar and 400 degrees Celsius. Okay. Then I am bleeding at some mkg. Okay, bleeding at some mkg at 5 bar. Mkg of steam is bleeded, and it is sent to the heat exchanger. Heat exchanger. I have an heat exchanger here. Then it will go to the. So I have a pump here. It will go to the pump. So I have a pump. So this is my pump actually. Then what will happen? See, the steam gets expanded here. See, the steam is getting expanded here. Steam is getting expanded. It will go to the, so I have a condenser here. So that's a regular condenser. And I have the feed water from the river or something. So this is at some pressure 0.1 bar. Condenser. So this is what I have actually. And this will come over here. So this feed water. So this is, so I have one more pump here. Maybe a pump. This will be feeding the water here to this heat exchanger. So this will be going to this heat exchanger. So this is what is happening. Then this pump will be pumping the water to the boiler. Pumping the water to the boiler at this particular pressure. So this is what I have, a simple connection. Okay, simple connection, what it is actually. So this is actually, if I take 1 mkg of it, so what is left out? It is 1 minus mkg of steam. This is a simple schematic if you are able to put it. Now let us put the point. Suppose if I call the entry to the turbine as 0.1, okay, then the bleeding is happening at 0.2. So then what comes out of this particular condenser is 3. Then what is at this particular condenser exit is actually, this is 4. Then I do have a pump which is 5. Then whatever the heat that is getting here 6, and whatever is going into the boiler, this is 7. So I have each and every point that is written over here. This is a simple diagram if you're able to put it. So that's why I ask you people, either you put the TS diagram or the schematic, which will give a lot of explanation of what is there in the numerical. Is that clear? Now let us go to the data is given, or we can write the TS diagram or HS diagram. Okay, one of the diagram we can take. So let's write the, here we'll try to write the HS diagram, because we have been doing TS diagrams more. Here we will try to put the HS diagram. Let's try to put the HS diagram. So this is my enthalpy and this is my entropy. Okay. So here I'll be having a couple of pressures. So 3 pressures are there. So let me put those pressures. So 1, this is for 430 bar, and in between is 0.5 bar, and I have a pressure with respect to 0.1 bar. Okay. So then I have to put the dome. So I'm going to put a dome. This is my dome corresponding to this. So this is my dry saturated steam to the left hand side, or to the right hand side, and left hand side this is. Now let's try to put the points, salient points, all those things. So what's happening here? So I have the point 1. Okay, I have the point 1, which is superheated condition. So this may be point 1. So let me call this as point 1. So I will maybe expanding to point 3. So what is it actually? So I'm not sure actually whether it is a dry or something. Let me go to this particular point. This is how it is expanding. Okay, this is how it is expanding. Its expansion is in this direction. Okay, if this is point 1, if I consider this as point 1, okay, this as point 1, this as point 2, okay, this is 1 kg of steam. So here also it is 1 kg of steam. This is at 30 bar, this is at 5 bar, this is at 0.1 bar. So what is it that is coming over here? It is 1 minus m kg. Then here also it is 1 minus m kg. So here also between 0.2, here also it is m kg. So I'm trying to write the HS diagram for you, so if it will be better for you to understand. Okay, so now that is 1, 2, this is 0.3, so this is 0.4. So this is isentropic in nature. So what I will do, I will try to go this particular thing. So go in this particular fashion to this particular point. I'll be reaching a 0.5. Then I will move around this particular point to your water. Okay, then I will go to this particular point. This is your 0.7. So this is your 0.7. This is your 30 bar. This is your point. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So this is how the cycle will run. So this is your simple entropy and enthalpy and entropy diagram, or your molar diagram if you try to do it actually. Okay, now let's try to look at the values. At 30 bar, the 400 degrees Celsius looks like a superheated condition, because the temperature at the saturation temperature at your point 2 is much greater than 400 degrees, much less than your 400 degrees Celsius. So the condition of the steam at point 2 is actually it is superheated. So what we will do, we will try to go to superheated conditions. So for as the temperature at point 1, okay, temperature at point 1, which is 400 degrees Celsius, okay, is greater than the saturation temperature at 30 bar. So the condition of the steam is superheated. So the steam is superheated. So what we will do, so from the superheated steam tables, from the superheated steam tables at 30 bar and 400 degrees Celsius. Let's note down all the values. What are the values I need? H1, which is 3230.9 kilojoules per kg. Then S1, which is 6.0 921 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Then you say S1 is also equal to S2, which is also equal to S3. Okay, S1 is also equal to S2 and S3. You can just find it. So S3, if you want, you can find the your specific volume also. So you need not bother it. It's also because it's isentropic process. 1 to 2, it's isentropic process. Now similarly, from the steam tables, so from the steam tables at 5 bar, from the steam tables at 5 bar, that is at the point, see at 5 bar means at the intermediate at point 2. So I need to find all the values, that is SF2 at 5 bar, SF2, go to your regular steam tables, okay, SF2 is equal to 1.8604 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin, SG3 is equal to 6.8192 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin, and HF, okay, HF2 is equal to, okay, HF2 is equal to 640.1 kilojoules per kg. Okay. Now, see, if you look at it actually, this is your SG3. See, this is your, I can make a comment. That's why I wrote down these values is I want to give a comment here. So if you try to look at these particular values, SG3 here and S1 here, as the entropy at 5 bar saturated condition, SG3 is greater than, see, S2 is, see, your entropy at 2. This entropy, no, entropy at 2 is greater than your SG3, the condition of the steam is superheated. Okay, so to comment that I need your regular steam tables. From the steam tables only I have to comment, then only I have to go to superheated tables. Directly I can't jump in. So let me write that. Since S2, which is 6.921 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin, is greater than SG3, which is equal to 6.8192 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin at 15 bar, the condition of the steam. So the condition of the steam, is superheated. So for this, what you need to do? So therefore, from the superheated tables, I need to go to superheated tables. Okay, from the superheated tables, I need to get the values. Okay, to find that, I need these temperatures. This temperature I need actually. How to get this temperature? So rather than that, I can directly go to your HS diagram and I can get it. Okay, directly get that particular value from your HS diagram. So this particular thing, so where that value, so your 1 to 2, you can drop it, where that point 2, it's crossing your 15 bar. So this is, sorry, 5 bar. So this is your 5 bar. Wherever it calls, you draw a what is called as an horizontal line like this. So horizontal line, you will be getting your H2 and you will be getting the corresponding temperature also. There will be one line which will be going like this. You will get the temperature. So I have found that particular thing. You can just cross check that. So from the, either go to the superheated tables or from the Mollier diagram, both the way, superheated region. So from the, let me use Mollier diagram for this. A combination of all the things, we'll try to use it. You can verify it using your steam table, superheated table. So in that case, superheated tables, what we do need to go? You have to check for this entropy where this value of 6.92 matches with the temperature. You have to interpolate and do it. Are you getting? If you want to get that
Yes, sir.
value, yeah, what you have to do, you have to verify this 6.9281 at, it may be at 15 bar, at what temperature this 6.92921 is nearer to that. So that value you will be getting it. So it may be somewhere around 172. What I got is roughly from Mollier diagram. So from the, let me write that, from the Mollier diagram, so the corresponding temperature is found to be around, that is T2. So T2 is found to be 172 degrees Celsius, and the corresponding entropy is found to be, enthalpy is found to be 2796 kilojoules per kg. Let me write that note. Same can be obtained from superheated steam tables through interpolation. You have to interpolate, and you can get a close number. You may be getting around 173 some change, or your H2 may be closer to 2800, something like that. You may get it. Okay. Now once this is done, so I have to go to 0.1 bar. Okay. I have to go to 0.1 bar. So from the steam tables, at 0.1 bar. So I have to get all the values. What is it actually? 0.1 bar means corresponding to 0.3. So SF3, SG3, everything I have to get. So at 0.1 bar, so let me get all the things. SF3 is equal to 0.649 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Okay. Then SG, if you want SG3 or SFG, whatever you want, you can get it. So SFG3 is equal to, so SG3, I need to get it. So SG3 is equal to 8 point. 8.15, 8.15 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Then HF3 is equal to 191.8 kilojoules per kg, and HG3 is equal to 2585.6 kilojoules per kg. Now, as I told, S2 is equal to S3. See, S1 is equal to S2 is equal to S3. S1 is equal to N2 because it's isentropic process. What will happen? Your S2 will be equal to your S3. Okay. Therefore, your entropy S2 is equal to S3. But what is your S3? S3 is equal to SF3 plus X3 into SG3 minus SF3. Okay, what is your S2? 6.921 is equal to SF3, just now we have found 0.649 plus S3 into 8.15 minus 0.649. I am getting my X3 is equal to, if I substitute everything, I am getting around 0.836 or 84. So this is the value of your dryness fraction. This is the value of your dryness fraction. So from this, I need to find the enthalpies. Shall I continue, or you have class now? Hello?
Sir, Bhimshah sir is waiting in the meeting actually.
Okay, fine. Then I need some another half an hour or so. Shall I take some time in the evening today just to solve this problem?
So
Otherwise,
today
I
at 12 o'clock,
No,
we are
I'm
supposed
going
to
out
have.
actually.
Okay, sir.
I'm going out. What I will do, I will solve this problem and I'll upload. That's fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
I'll solve this problem and upload. Just another few more lines are there. I don't want Bhimshah sir to keep waiting. Okay, you can just stop the recording. I'll solve this problem and upload it.
Okay, sir.
That's fine. And majority of the things we have done. Only thing is now we have to find the enthalpies and substitute it. That's it.